The long sleep never lasts forever. Somewhere along the line, you wake up again. I had no idea what was in store, but all I knew was I had to get as far away from the spawn beach as possible. So I made the long voyage across the barren land. Still early in the wipe, there weren't many bases around. And as you may know, I'm a pure solo. I love finding that perfect little corner of the map and making it mine. So I followed the train tracks, moving north. While wandering through the desert, I eventually decided to craft a stone hatchet, get some cloth, so that I could lay down a sleeping bag out here. I decided to loot boxes along the way. Now, I don't advise doing this if you don't have a base. But in my case, I was hoping to find any tools or weapons that could help me in this early stage. With my newly found hatchet, I started collecting wood because soon I was going to lay down a small 1x1 to keep my loot safe. If you haven't already, I hope you subscribe, because I post content like this every week. And if you're enjoying, hit the like button or leave a comment down below. Thanks. At this point, I needed to lay something down, so I built a little 1x1 to keep my loot safe. This is when I headed out to look for a better place to build, and I found this horse. This horse would allow me to cross a lot of land quickly, and surprisingly, I decided to go far. I don't often build in the snow, but out here, I was at the absolute furthest place from anyone. And this little island looked interesting to me. I took a moment to get warm as my horse shielded me. This whole area spawned a lot of nodes, but stone wasn't one of those. That would make things tough a little later, but as of right now, I wanted to do a little hunting while the animals were around. Now, I was ready to cross over to the island. There were no stone nodes in the area, probably because others have already taken them. So I decided to just build with wood for now. After crossing the freezing water, I took a moment to heal up. The fire was nice, but the cold, a reminder of the harsh conditions out here. But the reality is, the snow biome is the true test of a solo who's wanting to survive. The groups will grow faster out here. There's plenty of resources for them. But the real test is, can I survive out here? And only time will tell. So I pulled out my building plan and got to work. I headed back over to the mainland to do some more farming. I laid down a campfire here. I didn't know this now, but I would frequent this campfire often for a moment of peace and a moment of warmth. While I was resting from a long day of work, I noticed my feed bursting with players being banned, most likely a clan of cheaters. I felt mostly at peace. I didn't notice anything crazy, nor had I died to any players yet. But that's just not how Rust is. So I decided to take a break from my island, spawn out a bit further, craft a spear, and farm the roads. On this server, I had BPs, so I was farming for my workbenches. Moments like this felt perfect. The sun was beautiful, but every moment like this was followed by a moment like this. And so I made my way home for the night. I sat by my fire. The fire, no matter where it came from, was my ally. The fire not only kept me warm, but it also kept me company. Out here, in the desolate cold, in the snow, players don't roam if they don't have to, especially at night. So for me, when night would fall, I would huddle around the fire and plan out what I would do when the sun would rise. And when the sun was up high, I decided it was time to expand the base. So I grabbed my tools and I began. Dreamers, I just want to say thank you. You all are so amazing, and I appreciate every single one of you. Your support and your kindness means everything to me. I made this choice to be this far away from everything, so finding scrap would be difficult. But that's okay, because that's a part of this process. If it's meant to be, an idea will come along. And sure enough, an idea did. I had completely forgotten about my 1x1 base in the desert, so I planned to use it to collect as much scrap as I could and then bring it back to my main base. A risky plan, but one I was ready to do. At this point, I was loaded, so when nightfall came, I collected all of my important loot, and then I made the treacherous journey all the way to my main base. I laid down a tier 2 and began to research as much as I could. Now that I could craft guns, the game was a bit different. I sealed up the base with garage doors. And when I had a bit of time, I filled up my locker with a few loadouts. And then I took a moment to really analyze my loot to see what was important and what I could get rid of. So I began to organize. had a chainsaw in my possession, and I was gonna put it to good use. So I grabbed my saw, and I headed to the largest group of trees I could see near me. My nerves were high, because you can't hear enemies when you're cutting with a chainsaw, but the reward was worth the risk. I was ready for some more serious loot, so I geared up, stopped at my campfire, and then I made my way underground, my go-to for kickstarting a wipe. I decided to head back up to the surface at military tunnels to use the recycler. I was ready to head home with my loot, but I stopped at the gas station for a quick snack. And to my surprise, I found a green card. This would come in handy very soon. After researching more items with my scrap, I began to upgrade my core to sheet metal. And then I grabbed some stone and began to honeycomb the base. At this point in the wipe, I was feeling pretty safe. It wouldn't be an extremely easy raid, and this allowed me to focus more on my progression. I need you to know that this was a long wipe, and so far, this is just the beginning, so stay tuned for part 2. Thank you for watching the journey so far, and a special thanks to my YouTube members. I'll see you all very soon. Dreamers, stay chill. You've been watching an Orange Dream production.